call to order the September 12th meeting of the Public Safety and Licensing Committee.
Not live
We're
yet.
gonna wait for
Yeah.
Facebook to go live here then.
All right, we are live.
All right, for roll call, Alder Coe is asked to be excused, and Alder Caprellian will be here in a few minutes. All right, we're gonna skip approval of the minutes for the moment. We're gonna go right down to item 471-22, communication regarding license for Chubby's Pizzeria, 619 High Street. Staff?
So they have called in this afternoon and decided to withdraw their application. Sent us an email.
Okay. So, given that, a motion to receive and file would be in order, I assume. So, could we have a motion as such?
Motion to receive and file. Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item, 660-22, communication for an application for a gas service station license at 4301 Washington Avenue. Is there anybody here to represent?
No, I believe that one's kind of mandatory. They do not have to.
Okay, they do not have to be here then? Okay, and nobody's chosen to be here at this point? All right, so.
Sure. I'd like to say something about it too.
Yeah, in just a minute, and I just want to be sure, so, everything is in order in this application then, city attorney's office, and, or either office,
Oh, I'm sorry.
or city clerk's office, either one.
It looks like they still need their health occupancy permit. That's what we're waiting on.
Okay, so that's not a, that's nothing that would, they're required us on our end kind of thing right now then, right?
Okay.
So we're not waiting anything from them, at least at this time. All right. I would ask, did you get a chance to look into the licensing situation for this particular facility, city attorney's office?
With respect to alcohol?
Yes.
Yes, I did. So because this is a convenience store, it meets the definition of a convenience store under your ordinance, and it has an inventory of less than 15,000, minus what would be alcohol and gas, presumably. If that is the case, they would be disqualified for any alcohol licenses down the road.
Okay, so I'd like that to be known by the applicant here. So when we do contact them, I would like to see that included in the information that the building currently does not meet requirements for that. Alderman Perez.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, wow.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This, convenience store.
Fair point.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, we do need a motion first, so I apologize for that.
Okay.
Please.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Alder Perez, thank you for calling me out on that, that's correct. Alder Perez?
Thank you. This, gas station has been there since I moved there 17 years ago. And usually about every year and a half or so, it changes hands. It's a very fluid gas station. Apart from being very fluid, it borders a corner where a couple houses down from that corner, there's a lot of drug activity. In the past, the drug activity has meandered into this gas station area. And before we approve this license, I would like to see what kind of security they have in place for these type of controls for people that are meandering into their property. In the past, I've had neighbors in particular tell me that there's a lot of drug deals going on at this gas station. There's a lot of people just hanging out, and I don't know that they said drinking because it really has never had drinks, I think, because of its size. But something is going on there. And the other thing is, I object to this passing at this point. I was never contacted by anyone about the change of ownership here, and I think that's one of the rules when you have that going on here.
Let me interrupt and ask that question, whether that's true for gas station as opposed to liquor license, I just don't know. Should we ask that the applicant contact?
If you could just give me 1 minute, I can check on that.
Sounds good. So your concern is you haven't had any discussion with the potential owner at this point? No contact?
Right, so I'm not aware of any security, I'm not aware who they are. The application that was filled out that we got a copy of doesn't even seem to be complete or thorough. So, I object to this being passed at this point.
Okay, I was just told by staff that this is a complete application, so,
There's not a lot of boxes that are filled out, and I think some of the boxes that are filled out improperly. At least from the copies that we received in our agenda items.
so we have two separate questions going on here right now.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Caprillion, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Having a couple things researched over here regarding the gas station license at this particular time.
No pressure.
And to bring you up to speed, Chubby's withdrew their license, yeah, I'm surprised.
Oh, thank you for letting me know.
Office, is it a complete application?
It looks like it's me, but they're only applying for a gasoline and tobacco.
And everything on here is complete from your perspective?
Oh, the boxes are filled out on that.
Okay,
When I looked at it, the boxes that were, I'm sorry, Danny.
yes,
When I
please.
looked at it, the boxes that were filled were, I think improperly, one of them has to do with being an out-of-state owner, and that's where he checked it. And then, the information, also, didn't seem to be thorough. There's a lot of boxes that were not filled out, and that I think are corresponding to the application.
So,
City Attorney's Office.
so to answer your question, the ordinance does not require the applicant to contact the specific alderman of the district. It just states that upon receipt of an application, the city clerk shall notify the Commissioner of Public Works, the traffic engineer, and the building inspector of the application, and they shall conduct the investigation and inspections. There's no specific requirement that the alderman be notified, not in the ordinance at least.
Question.
Oh, yes, please.
The only thing I can see that might be, I guess, for us, is number 4. Like, it's supposed to answer no, not applicable yet. That's the only thing I can see that might be like a small red flag.
And,
Number 4 on first page.
yes, and I did request clarification, and there was a background check done on this person that came back negative. So I do think we have a complete application here. We do have the option, however, if we choose to approve it, approving it with the message to the applicant that they are to contact Alderman Perez before city council meeting. Way to handle it at this point.
Perez, on the Perez question.
Please?
Well, why do you need them to give you a call? Like, what kind of questions are you gonna be asking? What kind of responses?
Well, one of
do you
them,
want
for
to have?
example, would be what kind of security they're gonna have, what kind of lighting they're gonna have. Because again, their proximity to the drug house and the previous incidents that have occurred there with the drug dealings going on, I don't want it to become a drug hub again, especially with a new owner. And, the fact that we are aldermen, when we're not notified of things that are happening within our community, it really puts us at a disposition that is not, favorable, because when we get comments like from the neighbors saying, hey, what's going on at the gas station? I don't know, because we're not contacted, we don't know who the people are. I think, and I've talked about this before, especially when I was on this committee, we should have a reference on every single item that goes out that says what district it's in, so we can prioritize it and get additional information. Because we don't wanna look, like we're uninformed when these things come up, when we don't have any information.
We did start the practice, this was the very first meeting we did, of informing on the,
Yeah,
when
but
the
it's
license
not
was.
happening anymore
I mean, it just happened, it was on the email that went out with.
this time, but it doesn't happen on all the other things. So I've complained about it.
We have
We
made-
used to do it all the time.
We have made that the practice, and this was the first case, and it looked like it worked, it got you here at least then, so that's
Yeah.
good. Now, as regarding the person not contacting you, there's no legal obligation, it certainly would be the right thing to do on their part, I would certainly agree with you.
Follow-up question.
Follow-up question, then you, Jeff, okay?
Yeah, just same, just piggyback of this question I asked before. You said, you had concerns about a drug house that's meandering into the business. Is this like a known drug house? Have police been called before? Do we have some kind of documentation
They have
about
a
that?
record of it, they've done, special enforcement there. The people that were there, I think the main person was recently incarcerated, but now people have moved back in. As a matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago, I had Public Works, go in there and remove a lot of the trash that they have all around the property because it was not taken care of. And I drove by there a couple of days ago, and the people that are related to the gentleman that's gone are now back in that house. And I suspect that means that drug dealing is now gonna start continuing again.
Alder Peterson?
I was gonna wonder if it would make sense to add to the minutes or to the motion that we request the owner contact the Alderman Perez, and have a discussion about his concerns. I don't know how we as committee can turn him down for, something, he doesn't have a history of any problems. I understand there's a history of problems next to him, but I would think addressing the concerns with him should be sufficient.
Is the seconder of the motion open to that? Okay, so if we could update the original motion then to reflect the recommendation of contacting Alderman Perez, informing them thereof. Your concern is duly noted and definitely appreciated as well. I believe by doing the background checks is our methodology of attempting to deal with that, but it would absolutely be right for them to contact you, I would think as well.
Thank you, sir. I don't have an issue with the, owner, I have an issue with the property. And that's where my concern lies. He probably doesn't even know what goes on there, so. That's why I wanted to address him.
You'd be able to communicate with him should, hopefully.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we have a proper motion and second. Can we get the motion read back, please?
Was a motion to recommend for the owners to contact the alder in regards to concerns.
And to approve as well then. Okay, so everybody clear on what the motion is at this point? Any further discussion? All in favor?
Right.
Okay, motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Alder Perez. And while I think of it, we could use a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting. I saved that one for you.
Oh, thank you. I would like to make a motion to approve the August 29th meeting minutes.
All right, we have a motion second. Any corrections, omissions, concerns about the minutes? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. The third and, well, actually, I'm not gonna say third, the final item, I think, on the agenda already, is the, police liaison report. Sergeant Ortiz.
From the current, report, that was on the August 22nd to September 7th, the only item that popped out was top 10. Police were called there on August 30th, to deal with an intoxicated person, but then they dealt with that. After that, they did do a tavern check. The bartender was unable to provide a, operator's license, and then the bar license itself was posted, but it was good from 1/3/22 to June 30th of 22. So, it's unknown if they do have an updated license and they just didn't post it, or if their license actually is expired. They were given citations for both of those two items, though. So.
Yes, please. Jeff, go ahead, please.
The court addressed the issue of whether or not they have a license,
For the operators, is that what you're talking about?
Operators, yes, not the.
I mean, we'd have to look into it. I don't know which operator it was that they they talked to, but I'm looking at that date of 6/30, because our operator's license is actually run till 6/30/2023.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was referring to the bar license.
Oh, the liquor license, yeah, as far as I know, they're active.
Okay, so it wasn't posted, okay.
Yeah.
But they did go out, there was no delay in getting them out this year? Sorry,
No, they did renewal and everything.
yeah.
Bartender.
But that,
I don't know if you can answer this, but was the bartender able to say whether or not he had one, he just didn't have it on him, or, yeah, that's probably a tough one for you to
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean, I carry mine in no wallet, so.
Right. I don't know. It's definitely something that third shift, they reached out to me and wanted to know as well what to do about it. So my suggestion was to go back into the bar and do another tavern check and see if everything's, up to code. So I could report back on that once they go out and do another tavern check, but I don't know who it was that they spoke to. I don't know if he could. And then I don't know if they just didn't have it, the right one posted, or what that whole thing was.
I appreciate the fact that they did cite him for it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank your officers for doing that.
I would assume, and again, I can't tell you a definite, I would assume that the operator probably did not have a license, because if he or she had one, I'm sure that the officer probably would use some discretion and maybe give them a warning. If they actually gave them a citation, I would probably think that the person didn't have one.
Okay.
Anything else you wanna call it?
From this report, nope, that was it.
And you have a second report on here, a follow-up?
Yeah, I'll read it just so we have it out there. This is the update for August 3rd, 2022, Doobie's Beer Joint. The update is, an investigation has been conducted into the accident documented under 22-29648. During the crash investigation, it was discovered the operator at fault had been at Doobie's Beer Joint prior to the crash. It was also noted that this operator was 20 years old and was believed to be under the influence of alcohol. While doing the follow-up into the incident, traffic investigators discovered a patron, the 20-year-old operator, had entered the bar with another person. The two sat at the bar, and the of-age female ordered drinks, which were put in front of her by the bartender. The 20-year-old is then given half of the order by his friend, who ordered them and consumes them. A couple more drinks are ordered and given to the friend, but partially consumed by the underage male. The two patrons leave the bar at some point with their drinks, and then re-enter the bar about 15 minutes later. The 20-year-old is seen stumbling inside the bar at one point before leaving the bar. He gets in his car and makes a wrong turn onto Durand Avenue into oncoming traffic, which ultimately leads to the crash. In speaking with the bartender who was working, she told traffic investigators she only served the female who was of age. She also said she was told by the female that she was waiting for another friend, and that was why she was ordering multiple drinks. The bartender claimed to not see the underage male drink any of the drinks or shots. The following citations were given: possession and consumption by underage person, sale to underage person, operator's license to serve, and underage person on premise. So that case is closed. So it looked like the bartender was cited, the owner was cited, and then the female that was giving her friend the drinks was cited, and then obviously the 20-year-old was cited. That's just an update on that.
Update, observations, comments? Especially regarding any letter of concern or anything?
Yeah, so, can you tell us, has Doobie's been called in here within the time period that we allow before a due process?
No. So the last time they were called in was in 2019.
Okay.
And that would have been November 2019. They came in front of the committee on later that month, and the formal expression of concern was rescinded. So that would not count against them. Prior to that, they were called in April 2019. Since then.
Thank you. May I continue?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I noticed, on your report for September 3rd, the fight that was out in their parking lot.
Mhm.
Is there any comments to report on that besides what's on here, or no?
As far as looking into that myself, there was no other comments.
Just knowing the area, Juby's really is at that hour, nothing else is really open, so that crowd is going to that parking lot strictly to either, patronize that building or that, business, or, hang out outside. A lot of times that has been some common practice from some establishments where they actually kind of party out in the lot, but I'm not sure if that is one. I'm sure some officers know of the locations around town that do that or have done it. But I think with the information that we have, just from past practice of this committee, we do call the establishment in here, to question them. They definitely have violated public safety, so,
Based on which incident, I think we need to be very
Yeah.
specific. Are we calling them in on the citations for underage you're proposing? Or are you proposing based on the alleged fight?
I would like to accumulation of both, so not only the incidents that they have been cited on, but because of the incidents that have shown up on our report, our licensed premise report. So as of now, they've cited on, they have been noticed on that report for 2 big incidences, so that have a public safety concern.
Before we do that, I would ask Sergeant Ortiz, do we really have anything to say about the fight? I look on here, it looks like you showed up and there was nobody there. And we have a phone call that says there's 4,200 people, and that's all we really have there.
Right. So, and again, it was hard to decipher who actually made the call. Was it someone from the crowd that was concerned? Was it someone from inside the bar? Because it looks like they did try to make contact at the bar, and either no one was there or no one actually opened the door. But it looked like the door was closed. Police tried to make contact with the bar. I will say they do have an off-duty officer most weekends working, but again, I don't know what time they're working until. So if the bar closed at 2, I don't know if the officer stays an extra half an hour. In this incident, it looks like they were already gone.
2:31.
Yeah.
Ow.
2:30 and they're gone.
They're done.
Observation?
Just one question. I know you guys are extremely busy at night, especially around bar time. Is there a way of finding out what the response time was? I mean, if the call's received at 2:31, how long did it take for people to get, if it's a 10-minute response because you guys are committed elsewhere, you can see how,
That's a good point.
cops,
Right. Yeah, definitely. Every time an officer gets on scene, they'll report to dispatch that they're on scene. So it gets punched when they're dispatched, it gets punched when they arrive on scene, and then it gets punched when they're done with the call. So we can definitely find that out.
That might be helpful for if the motion gets passed.
Yeah, any observation from your perspective?
I know we had someone here who was involved in the accident. Do they have the floor to speak on what happened, or? No? They just
I don't know.
Do we have somebody here to,
Yeah.
about this item?
In the audience right now.
Are you folks here then?
Yes. They did show up at the last time, but we did not have it on our licensed premise report,
Okay,
so.
this is, the attorney, are we allowed to do this as it not being noticed per se as anything specific for Doobies, just rather the report?
Yes, the chair can allow the person to speak on the licensed premise report or any incidents in it.
Okay. Please come up and join us, whoever's going to, tell us who you are. Yeah, that'd be great if you would, please, thanks. And tell us who you are regarding this item in particular then.
My name is Eric Ellis. I live at 2028 Blaine Avenue, Racine. I was coming home directly from function in Milwaukee at the Bucks, and then stopped at Arby's to get dinner, a late dinner, and I was just gradually driving home. And out of nowhere, I was traveling behind the SUV, the detective said it was 2 cars in front of me, and they swerved off, and I thought I was still behind the SUV. The guy hit me head on with no lights on.
Mm.
And to come find out later on, that it was a 20-year-old, and he had been drinking at Doobie's. I feel that Doobie's should be liable for anything that has happened to me, that has happened to me. And I'm responsible for that, actions that happen upon serving a minor in an establishment like that. And I feel, to be honest, license could be taken, period, because, I could be dead.
Yeah.
And then what, with
Yep.
a slap on the wrist, that's it,
Well, thank you for coming forward, we appreciate that.
yes.
So we're just deliberating right now as to whether we're gonna bring them in or not. As far as any concern you have about liability between them, limit our role is our license here, and that's between them and them otherwise then. All right? Thank you very much, greatly appreciate that.
Thanks for letting me speak.
Oh, absolutely. Are you on the same topic and you're...
I am just, Eric's wife.
All right.
I don't need to speak.
Thank you, Mrs. Eric, for being here.
I do have another comment.
Yes, please.
Thank
Alderman
you.
Caprellian?
So when we do call them in, it is also other common practice if, just because of, reports that are seen on, the licensed premise report or incidences that have been seen on there, to just, we could bring up, we've seen this as well, it doesn't necessarily have to be because this is the conclusion, because we saw 40 to 100 people in a lot, or it's been reported that, but can you speak on that as well? So not, particularly the main focus of it, but it's an opportunity for them to speak on it. But my next part of that statement is, a lot of times I like to ask if they've ever had a good neighbors report. Is this an establishment that's had one in the past, or no?
Not that I can recall within the last few years.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You have something else?
I
City Attorney?
was just gonna note for the committee that whenever the city clerk's office sends out notice to a licensee to appear pursuant to a formal expression of concern, I usually recommend, and they usually put on there the list of calls,
Great.
within a certain time period, so that all of it can be discussed in case
Okay.
the committee wants to discuss anything.
Perfect.
Okay,
So it's not limited to just one,
Yep.
any one
gotcha.
call.
Thank you for that clarification. All right. Guess a motion is in order at this point, if anybody cares to make one.
I will make the motion to call in Doobie's Beer Joint to our next committee meeting.
For an official expression of concern.
Thank you.
We have a second?
Yeah.
Discussion on the motion. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. And,
Seconded it, I'm sorry.
Alder Peterson.
Oh, Alder Peterson.
So, I believe we have exhausted our agenda.
So nothing for top 10, correct? You're not calling them in due to the violation?
Did anybody want to call in top 10 for any reason?
I would kind of like to have that information from the sergeant to get back to us and make that decision if we can at our, future committee meeting.
Okay, Sergeant? All right. All right, our agenda has been exhausted, and we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank everyone very much.
Yeah, thank you, sorry.
Thanks, Sergeant.
Welcome.
So much.
We appreciate it.
Yes.
Received and filed the rest of the report.
We did not. We are adjourned. We are adjourned.
Can always-
Actually, officially, we have two reports there as well, then we should receive and file both.
I guess you can receive and file at the next one.
At the next one? Okay.
Just put an item on there to receive and file those two then. You should have asked that before I adjourned us. All right, guys.
All right,
Thank
thank
Really
you.
appreciate it. See you next time.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Henry.
For the letter that goes out to-
All right, finance and personnel for me now.
Yep, that's fine.
Sorry?
Where are we? We have, Amber Bush, the third, just
See you guys next week, everybody.
Thank you, have a good night. Always two.
Thank you.
And then the notice, the, amicable, I can work with you. You can add on it. You can add on it, the alcohol. And then contact.
Is our next meeting the twenty-sixth?
It is.
It is, okay, just wanted to make sure there's nothing special. Okay, 26th, if you want to put it on 5 o'clock, 26th. You've got it going? There's on that next week.
Yeah,
Next
you
week,
do.
right? Sounds good to me. All
All
right.
right, thanks, Naomi.
Thank
Have a good
you.
night.
You too.